BPS Custom's coverage of CES 2018 in Las Vegas is brought to you by Enermax and CableMod. Thank you to them for making our trip possible. Check out their links in the video description and make sure you're subscribed to the channel for all the latest hardware news from the year's biggest electronics expo. Alright guys, it's time to check out what InWin brought to CES 2018. So this is the first thing we're going to be checking out right over here. So this is Winbot. Johnny's going to tell us about Winbot.
Winbot here is part of our signature series lineup. This is our 7th generation, probably one of the most sophisticated cases on the market. The reason being is because it can actually control the case, move it left or right, open and close it by simply moving your hands. It has hand gesture detection as well as facial detection as well. Could be really cool whenever you're streaming, having VR gaming. It just enhances the experience that much more. And just depending on what your software you're running, you can do pretty much a lot of applications.
So where are the sensors? How is it seeing you?
So it's seeing us right here, through this camera right here.
So can you gesture? Can you make a gesture?
Unfortunately, we don't have it set up. We don't have it hooked up to anything.
Oh, okay.
We have it on auto mode, so it'll kind of rotate on its own in a little bit. For display purposes, of course.
Yeah, this seems to be a pretty niche product, but I'm sure that there's definitely a market for somebody that wants something that's completely unique.
Absolutely. In fact, we've already sold out the quantities we've had.
Really?
We're getting more pieces soon, but we'll get more pieces on our e-store probably in the next couple of weeks. So. Yeah, other than that, one of my favorite minor details on this is the actual layout of the overall case. If you notice, the more critical components like the GPU, motherboard, is on this side of the case without all the heat producing items such as your power supply, the hard drives, the SSDs are all located on the other side.
It's definitely pretty unique. All right, so this is the A1 Mini-ITX chassis, and Mini is definitely the way to describe it. So what's new about this one?
So this is the glass top version. It has tempered glass here at the top, as well as on the side panel. On the bottom here, we have the acrylic stand, which will also come with a LED module that's fully RGB. It'll also come with default lighting if you don't have an RGB header. Also on the top here, if you notice this little
looks like a Qi charger, huh?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. So,
do you get a lot of requests for that kind of stuff?
To be honest, it's one of the heavily demanded requests, so we decided to listen to the requests and implement it onto our cases. So this thing will also come with a lot of different features as well. Let's go ahead and remove this one. So despite its compact size, it can still house a full-length graphics card with ease.
And how's the cooling in here? Have you run into any issues, airflow or anything like that?
Not at all. There's all kinds of entry points and exit points. There's an entry point through the bottom.
Yeah, you can see it's elevated down here, so this is where the majority of air is coming from, and then it gets exhaust out the rear.
Out the rear and out through the side.
The other side as well.
Exactly.
So when does this come into market? When can we expect to see this?
This will actually come out in Q2. And
Q2,
it'll also
okay.
come with a 600-watt power supply.
Oh, is it special SFX?
This is actually the standard ATX.
Really? So it's coming with 600 watts for this tiny box, huh?
Exactly.
And do we have an MSRP on this yet?
We do. It's going to come out to $139 with the power supply.
Excellent. So this is the 909. You guys probably know the 909, but this is not your standard 909. What's new about this version?
So this version actually is the EK Water Blocks edition. As you can see, there's all kinds of water cooling going on there, and it's all through this awesome water block that's provided by EK Water Blocks.
So is it gonna? You can see the coolant's kind of bubbling around right here. Is this gonna be? This is standard. This is gonna how it comes.
Standard, yes.
Awesome. And is this coming soon?
We don't have a current ETA on it, but along with the upgrades, it'll also come with the new 3.1 Type C Gen 2.
Are you trying to stick around the same price point as the original, plus like whatever a premium would be just for a water block, or is there more going on there because you guys had to do all the engineering involved too?
There'll probably be an additional price to it, of course, but as far as the pricing point at this moment, we're not sure.
Not yet? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll find out more pretty soon.
Yeah.
A couple months ago, I did a fan comparison, and this actually, the Polaris fans from InWin were a surprising hit. I like them a lot, and this is a new revision of these. So what's different about these, and why do I want them?
Well, this is one of the most premium fans on the market. It has the nice aluminum frame on the side there, plus has that nice smooth diamond cut finish along the edges.
Yeah, the old frames were plastic, some kind of acrylic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So these are a little more weighty, but definitely a little more premium feeling. Was that the idea?
Exactly. We wanted to give something to the case owners that have like that nice premium aluminum bodied cases, much like our 909, and it just blends so well in there.
Yeah, but right next to them, these don't look like Polaris fans.
Nope,
these look a little strange. So what are these?
These are Mars case fans. So these Mars case fans are actually designed to be almost add-on feature. So you can attach these on radiators and other case fans. And because of their hinge design, you can actually move them and rotate them in any position possible to possibly remove some of the heat in other areas, as well as create more cooling in dead spaces.
So you said you can mount fans on fans, is that right? These frames are made to bolt directly onto like a 120 millimeter frame?
Exactly, and one last little feature that I need to show you.
All right.
Is it actually comes with a USB connector so that you can actually connect it to any USB port, and you can have a nice little personalized fan.
So it's meant to point right at your face as you're gaming and sweating, right?
Yeah, exactly. Gaming can be intense, so why not cool yourself off?
So this is kind of the star of the in-wind show at CES 2018. This is a brand new chassis. Johnny, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we got here?
So we got here the 915. It's a continuation of the 900 series. That nice aluminum body along with the tempered glass side panels. Particularly the star feature of this is the top panel. So if you actually take a look, it has that nice ventilation on top to have optimized airflow. However, one of the biggest concerns is dust. So once you press this button right here, it goes back down, and it does it automatically when you turn off your PC as well as turn it on. So when you turn on your PC,
it'll automatically come back up as soon as you turn it back on?
Exactly.
So if whatever state you leave it in, it will resume that state? So if I leave it down all the time, it won't like pop back up when I turn it back on?
Exactly.
Okay. So and you got this curved front panel here. This is pretty unique. Where'd you get the design from? Like what were you aiming for?
So basically the idea here is we wanted to think outside the box a little bit. We wanted to have something a little bit more curvy, something a little bit more appealing. I mean, who doesn't like curves, right?
Absolutely.
So in this regard, we wanted to keep the internal structure, but at the same time have like a nice little curved design, as well as highlight the curves with this addressable LED on the front.
So this is almost a finalized design, right? This is what the final product should pretty much look like.
For the most part, we might tweak a few things internally, maybe a little bit on the outside, but overall, this is exactly the ideal concept of the 915 will be.
So the side fastening mechanism looks a little different too.
Correct. So just so we didn't have like too much of a problem, getting to our wires back here, we have a little easier access with those thumb screws, so to make things a little bit easier and still keep that same curvature design.
So can I detach this back panel if I didn't want it? If I wanted to, swap stuff out all the time or easy access, does it come off?
It doesn't come off completely as far as right now. It just it's basically like a door concept.
Gotcha. And then this little latch up here for the side panel?
Exactly. So this works like a toolless design, just like so. But don't worry, it has a safety feature on the bottom there. So always concerned about tempered glass, about shattering it, especially if you accidentally drop it. But no worries, we have a safety panel here on the bottom.
And you just lift it off?
Just lift it off, just like so.
Is the other side fastening mechanism the same?
Exactly, the exact same.
And tempered glass on both sides, right?
Glass.
So let's take a look at the interior. Is this going to be ATX, EATX? What do we got?
EATX. You can support ATX, of course, and all the other models.
And then radiator support?
Yeah, you have radiator support on the top, on the bottom as well. You could probably squeeze in on the front as well, but
is that not what you won't be marketing as radiators in the front, but you can do it if you really want to?
Exactly. I mean, for those that like to just throw a bunch of radiators into a system, it's a possibility.
Yeah. So is this top panel, I mean, where you demoed the moving panel and the mechanism here, is there any concern about blocking any airflow up through the top because there's a motor in there?
Not at all, not at all. Just because we designed it so that there would be clear passageways so that airflow is at a premium in this case. There is no concern at all for airflow, just because you can have air escape through the top, air intake through the bottom, through the side here. There will be a little bit of a gap. Also you can exit through the, dissipate the heat through the rear.
And when are we going to see this?
Ooh, that's a good question. We're not entirely sure. Maybe a really big guesstimate would be early Q3, but maybe sooner, maybe later. I have no idea.
So conservatively by Q3,
hopefully.
But hopefully by Q3, and no price on this yet, right?
No price, no.
All right. Well, Johnny, thanks a lot. Really appreciate your time here at the InWin booth at CES 2018. See you guys later.